Hello and welcome to Avalon Springs Farm, my little pink studio. It's a little bit messy right now, and normally I'm on the video, but I'm doing a post because today would have been a Farm Chicks in-person event, and it was canceled because of the snow. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm going to go to my little window. We have plowed our driveway, finally, gotten that accomplished. But there's still like a lot of snow out there. And I normally, during the this pandemic period, I have been setting up outside and just bringing outside things that people would like to see each month. And I can't do that this time because I don't have a place to be in the snow. So this is normally my little studio shop. And I have been converting the things that you see in the room to being on my website. And my most recent accomplishment, oh, hello, all these people who are watching. That's very cool. My most recent accomplishment is all these colors of alpaca, and I did this specifically because I have a whole bunch of friends knitting Bernie mittens. Isn't that cool? Bernie mittens. So, you kind of need some natural shades to make those mittens that he was wearing. And that's why let me just zero in on those browns. So I think there were 4 colors in those mittens. So maybe like a white or an off-white, and then a light tan, and maybe, kind of one of those, maybe a contrasting sort of taupey color was in the mittens. But anyway, so that's now on the website. Some other things that I can show you that I've recently added to the website are these colors. Oh yeah, there's my little reminder. This is online. So these colors in Pendragon yarn are on the website. And, that was like a big day couple days actually, of adding those. The first ones that I got up were my field of, and some of those are blocked. But let me go a little bit closer. This is the rest of my wall of Pendragon yarn. Some over here is some of the bulky weight colors. And yeah, those are all the bulky weights that are online. And this is, this row, yeah, this is my biggest row. This is all the worsted weight. So, and some of them, let me pull one down. Here's like an example of some worsted in a speckled yarn. What is this one called? This one called Magic of the Iron Age Hillford. Yeah, because my names are not short or anything, are they? And some of them, this is like an example of a color that I would not call speckled, but I would not call, it's not like a yarn where there's hard color changes. They're sort of like random, and you can see they're not very long color changes before, even in the span of my one finger, it changes from one color to another. So that's just a couple of stitches of a color. This one is like that too. What's this one called? This one is called Sea and Shore. Yep. Okay. And then this is a little bit more speckled, as you can see, in the greens and worsted, I guess because it's a worsted time of year. And this little green, this blue with the green speckles is called Poems and Song. Clearly these are like what I must have been like when I named them. It's my favorite part of the whole thing. I must have been reading poetry or listening to music or something. And that's the rest of the the worsted. That's the one I've been doing the most work in recently, is the worsted. And I know I got to shift over to adding more fingering. All these little guys, these are all little kits. Some of these are up and some of these are not up. These are from doing selling, when I sell the mini skeins in person, which is definitely part of what I do when I work with the Farm Chicks and the Fiber Art Studio Tour. We do lots of patterns using mini skeins. So this would be something that you would kind of have fun burrowing through in person, but these are sort of curated little packs of them, like in different thematic colors. Like there's a fall color pack, and this is, I think, like yellows and pinks. That's, yep. So they have different, but those are set to go online, and those are, and these guys are for in person. Down here at the bottom, I just added these little, the label is showing. I actually had somebody call me this morning about mohair and mohair locks, and do I have them? So I might have somebody coming to pick some of those up. These are my little kid mohair bags, because I have to say, if I'm going to mill my own yarn, most of the time I can put in a little bit of kid, but I mostly, the second clip, which is, when they're just under a year old, is the best clip for making yarn. It is the softest, but it has the length that you need so that the little fibers are not peeling away from the ply. This shelf is DK, and I've got some solids in DK, and I need to add some more DK. Underneath of it is another cool roving thing I made. God, I made this right before the pandemic hit, and these are like complete rainbows. It's almost a pound of roving. I think it's like 2 ounces short of a pound, but it has every color in the rainbow. So when I packed it, I packed it in order to get every color rather than a specific weight. And then this is my sport. And my sport is, maybe I should get some of the sport out. Okay, let me put some things down and up. Normally I have my daughter to be my videographer, and you can see that I am completely, I guess I'm hanging in there, but she makes it so easy. I'm going to have to thank her, because it's harder to do it by yourself. Okay, so, here was the DK. We were talking about speckles. Here's some work in speckles. I think one of these, this one is called Tears for John. Let's see. And then the sport. Oh yeah, this is one of my favorites. This is really rainbowy. This one is called Bonfire Ring Dance. I made this one with my daughter, Robin. We have this game where we lay the yarn out while it's really wet, and then she paints on like a color or two, and then I come in and paint on a color or two, and then we see what it turns out like afterwards. So that's one of those, which is fun. I'm almost out of this color. This was really popular. This is called Blue Spruce, Red Stag, but it's really, it's not quite the full spectrum, and definitely there's some sort of fall browns in there as opposed to bright reds, but it's an emphasis on sort of teal on the blue end of things and sort of brick red and gold on the red end of things. Here's another one in sport. We're definitely changing our mood when I come look at these. This is called Grace and Beauty. This one is definitely a speckled yarn. It's very sea glassy colors, like there's some mint and some sort of sage, but kind of a very soft, I hesitate to use the word sage because it's softer than that. Let's see, and this one was popular for a while. This is, Ancient Treasure. I kind of always carry some version of Ancient Treasure because it's useful to have something that focuses on neutrals, because everybody needs a few neutrals knitted up in their wardrobe to go with other things. This is a little bit more yellow, but I would say not a strong yellow. It's more like, okay, so this one is called Sunshine Through the Leaves, and this one is sort of like a butter color and sage and gold. Here are some other ones. Let's see. This is what I would call a semi-solid that I'm turning around over here. Okay, the left hand has to know what the right hand is doing. This is called Copper Cauldron. This is a color I make all the time. I would say that my phone is slanting it a little bit more yellow than it is. It's way more browny copper for some reason. That's just the light. Always good to see. When you were in person, you could take the yarn outside out of my tent and go look at it. Now I have to show it to you on the phone. But soon, you know what, you guys? My mom has gotten both of her vaccines. So it made me feel so hopeful, like things are happening. That one is called Stories in Tapestry. And it's because I have some examples of tapestry, and they have these sort of jewel tones, but washed jewel tones. So that's why I named that one that. This is called Spark of Hope. Yeah, you can tell I was feeling tired of the pandemic on that one. Yeah, I needed a little spark of hope myself. And another speckled is this one, very rosy in the camera. This one is called Fairy Folk, but it has a lot of, you see, it's like got a big rainbow of color in there. The background shade is definitely a rose mauvey pink, but the speckles like have the greatest emphasis on sort of teal and blue. Not bad that I show you this little spectrum, because blue is sometimes hard to photograph. Okay, so this is called Eye of the Unicorn. That's a color I make over and over again. Very aqua. It's coming out as baby blue on the camera, but it's close to that. So that's, and then next to it is, I bet you, is this one going to be Black Falls? Yes. Yes, it is. And that's a color I make over and over again. A very traditional teal. And then I got a little bit of North Sea, which is darker than Black Falls and a little more influence of green. Oh, thank you guys for leaving the comments. What else is... There's one more shelf at the bottom, but I have it sort of blocked off. Oh, some crocheted baskets made out of our farm fiber. And they're on the website now. And then, even though they're not, I would have broken these down into 4-ounce bags if I were going to shows. But right now, my rovings are still in the great big bags because I'm not seeing you guys as often in person. So I only break down a little bit at a time. And I think the one on the end is Crocuses in the Snow, and then Peach Tree, and that bright orange one is Circus, and that little light blue with the sage running through it is Sea Glass. This is my baby llama over here, Kriya in Snow and Kriya in Ash. A little bit of my farm yarn. And let's see. Okay. Cute story. Ha! Thank you. I'm trying. If anybody wants to ask me a question, they absolutely should. These are my grandmother's 2 chairs that have nothing to do with the yarn, except that I put them in here because I didn't want our own little dogs and cats to get on my grandmother's chairs. So I come in here and sit and knit sometimes to get away from everybody else, even though I'm not a really big knitter. That's some of our soap, and I'm so thrilled that that soap is online. And I don't have any knitting notions online, but I do always have those out if you come in person. These are some of the kits. I've just started to put the kits online. And then this is my, could you recommend a very simple spring scarf pattern? Oh my gosh, that's a good question. Let me walk over to where my patterns are. This is my point shoes yarn, and I call it that. I've been making this for a lot of years, and now it's kind of everywhere, but I've been doing it for a long time. It's point shoes because that's the way a ballerina ties her laces on her ballet shoes. And I have it not just in these single colors, but also like where I did the dye work throughout the skein, as well as, and these I just recently, here's another pretty bright one that would show up online. And so sometimes they'll have dyed outer strands or dyed inside. Let's see if I can find one where the outer strand is dyed. I think that's, yes, so there's one where the outer strand is dyed and not the inner. Okay, so now headed over to my, oh my gosh, you guys, I need to clean up my patterns. This is where I would come look for a simple spring pattern. This pattern was made with the point shoes yarn, and that is called the Trellis Pattern. And the reason that I pick it up is because this pattern was done by Caroline Hockenberry of Fibernate. It's on the Fibernate, let me hold it up again. It's on the Fibernate website. And if we were doing our in-person tour, Farm Chicks in-person tour, her group is going to be on the Zoom. So let's see what other scarf patterns. Oh, this is that's a cowl. That's a Corrine Walcher Designs cowl. And the name of that one is Assault. Let's see, but scarves. Everything is a shawl. Okay, so I'm going to have to post under this live stream some cowls. I mean some scarves. I will do that. Oh, just before I go, you guys, I can't believe you're still there because I've been talking for a long time. Are 2 more kinds of yarn that I think I should mention. So Glass Isle is a new yarn for me, or relatively new. Depends on when you last saw me at a show. But I really love this yarn. And I have just finished adding a bunch of this to my website. As you can see, because I have to get in real close to show you, it's a single. But it is a single in silk. Let me get out a speckled one. I like this one. Yeah, I like this one with this next to it. Oh, God, I love that. But anyway, so these are now on my website. And it's a silk and merino base. Somebody asked me the proportions. They're about half and half. And it has a lot of the... let me get out another example. It has a lot of the ability to be knit just like anything else from that merino that's in there. Like that single is not unraveling because that merino is just holding everything together. But oh my gosh, when you knit with it and it passes through your hands, it is just like, it's so buttery. Here, I kind of like this one too. I don't know. I love the multiple colored ones. This one is called, I didn't say any of the names. Coins in the wishing well. Okay. Yeah, because you're making wishes. And I offer it in some semi-solids. Yeah, Avalon Apple. Oh my gosh, I make that color a lot. And here you guys are going to see colors that I make on other dye bases, too. That one is Sacred Water. That is lighter than Black Falls, but yet another example of something that I do over and over again. Here's a couple more. This was intended to go with like something like that, or maybe even a navy blue. This one was, Looking for Sherwood Forest. Yeah, but I think I like that one with this blue that's up here. I don't know why I do, but I do. Looking for Sherwood Forest, and then this sort of traditional navy. What did I call that one? Moonless. Oh yeah, like a moonless night. Yep. But I guess because this one has that little navy in there, and it sort of pulls out. Anyway, I really like this yarn, and I've been making more and more of it. And then the last one that I wanted to tell people about is I need to get a typed thing. This is all online. This is Isle Royale yarn. And oh my gosh, this is a big reason why I wish we could be together. Because, I want you to squish that. It's so squishy. There's copper in there. And people always ask me, is there really copper in there? And I'm like, yes, it's a tiny copper thread. It's in the center. The copper has been given a tiny dip so that it's not razor sharp. And then the merino is wrapped around it like a core spun, So that's the construction of it. And it's so cool. I was thinking that people would love to make socks with it because of, not that it does anything, not that... As a little dye artist, I can't say that it does anything medical, but people do like to wear, copper on. Or that would be another cool thing, is to make fingerless mitts out of it. Oh, it would be so cozy on your hands. It is a fingering weight, and I dyed them in integrated little color palettes because I didn't have a ton to start with, so I wanted, at least if there was a way that you wanted to do like some shawl work or some sweater work or something, that you could, because there would be ways to combine things. Yeah, that's a lot of white showing on that one. This was just a splotchy giant. I just took, I don't often dye like that, but I just wanted to for sure be able to make a match between a couple of different random colors. So that's the Isle Royale that actually has copper in it. And I think that is a lot of what I wanted to show you guys today. Love all your colors. I'm knitting socks right now out of your yarn. Oh my gosh, that's cool. What are the names of the first two sea glass that you showed? So I wonder if sea glass, would that be over here? Let's see. So Melissa, do you mean in the Isle Royale, or do you mean in the glass aisle? I wonder if I missed that. Darn it. It's hard to read and talk at the same time. Let me just pretend that I know. Okay, so if you meant like a sea kind of color in the Isle Royale, that is Dover. That's a color that I make a lot over and over. And you can sort of see that it's very sort of aqua colored. If you meant Out of the Glass Isle, there's another one that's sort of a light sea color here. And that one is Eye of the Unicorn. But there absolutely was a sea glass roving, and back over here, just to cover my bases, in the Pendragon Sport, there was one that I mentioned, sort of sea glassy colors, and that one, if it's this one, which is not the blue, but it's like all the other shades of what you would see in sea glass. That one is called Grace and Beauty. Melissa writes, they're hanging out of the bin in the light colors, pale green and some lavender. Okay, darn, have I walked away from where you were? They're hanging out of the bin. Hanging out of the bin. This bin? Darn. Hanging out of the bin. I'll look for them next week. Okay. It's and I will promise I will have them next week. Because really, you guys I can only open up when I can open up. So they will definitely be here for you. Are there any other questions that I can answer or try to answer, even though I do sort of fumbled the ball on that one? So I guess this is it until I see you the next time. Please feel free to email me, text me. Oh, thank you, Melissa. Or contact me in any way that's convenient for you. Oh, those are those little felting pads up there on the top. Sort of look not very artistic. That is Lancelot, our holding yarn in the corner, our mascot. And I guess this is the end. But thank you, everyone, for coming to my live stream. And I will see you next week if you're part of the group for Fibernate. I will also see you can join our Zoom at 4 o'clock. If you don't have the Zoom link for that, just email me because I can email you the link. And if you want to be on it every time we do it once a month, and you want to be on different monthly Zooms with the Farm Chicks, just get on any one of our mailing lists. I'm Karen from Avalon Springs Farm, or you could be on Dallas at Dancing Leaf, or you could be on Lisa Check at Flying Goat. So thank you guys for coming, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Everybody stay safe. Bye.